Okay, guys, it is the last homeschool plan with me, I think, for the 2024-2025 homeschool year. And we will be at our 175th day, our last required day, on Friday this week. And that is really exciting. However, we do still have a little bit of other work left. Jack has some of his computer science course that he will be working on, and Emma will have her research project that we started a little bit later than we were supposed to. So she will also have a little bit of work, but I think Lucy will be done. Potentially. We'll see. Last week, there were definitely a couple of days where she was not motivated to do some math, and so we might have maybe a week left after this week of math. We'll see. I have to kind of go through everything, but we are going to start with Emma. Now, Emma finished her consumer math. She is reading A Tale of Two Cities, I think, right now, which this actually might end up being after this week as well. She's starting it. I think she is starting it this week. I might let her just do the audiobook, but we'll see. Just so that she can say that she's done it and get all the questions and stuff done. I can put this here for the last day. That is exciting. And I will put passion projects, screen free day. This week is also my 13th week for my quarterly reset, refresh, all of the things. I have talked at length about this. If you are new, welcome. I will leave a link for my 13th week content over my membership community in the description box if you're interested in that. I am spending this week kind of reflecting, refreshing my goals, renewing my spirit, just kind of learning some new things, taking the time to research some things of interest for me personally, rather than constantly pushing it off and then resting, taking a screen-free break, going to be taking a vacation from work for the week. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a little interesting trying to partner that with finishing up the homeschool year. It is probably not the best week for that to be happening, but my hope is that I will be able to mainly focus on homeschool in the morning, the way that I normally do, and then in the afternoons just focus on all of my theme days. I have them broken up by theme. I actually have an introduction video on YouTube that I can leave linked for you as well, where I kind of go through my plan, my ideas for this week. And I think that just the fact that I'm taking the week off from work, when I wake up early in the morning, I won't necessarily have to be doing work. I can kind of jump into some of the theme day things that I want to do. So that's what we're going to hope for the best. This is the first time that I have ever kind of taken a week for a quarterly refresh. Usually I will try and fit it in on my monthly reset day. And last year I noticed that it was just not enough time. I felt really rushed, and so a lot of it would bleed over to the weekend. And it wasn't exactly how I wanted to manage that experience. So I'm trying this out. We will see how it goes, and if I continue. I think that I am going to continue this year doing that. I do have 2 other weeks kind of blocked off on my calendar for this based on how I run my year, so I think it'll be good. The next one, we won't be actively homeschooling, so it might be a little bit different. And then the third one, potentially it could be during like a homeschool break week. We'll see. So Emma is working on her research paper. I think she has 3 weeks left for that. So this week and then 2 weeks after our next homeschool break, because next week we will actually be on our homeschool break, which is good because we have finished our 175th day, and then Jack and Emma will come back and finish up what they need to do, which is not much, but a little bit. This week, this is another thing. So In Your Own Words is a writing program from Not Consumed. We have loved it. I've had some questions recently on older videos about what I think of this program, and I will have full reviews of all of the curriculum that we have used this year. Probably in the next couple of months, I will start putting those out. And I really like this program. I do not think that I would qualify this as a full high school English credit. I think that it could potentially be a full writing credit if you're doing all of the extra projects and taking the time to really research things and stuff. But it's more like a half a credit of writing, and then if you add literature, which is what I'm doing for Jack, adding in books and Brave Writer guides, which do the grammar and literature portion, then I think that is a full credit for high school English. So this week, and I don't know if it's a 2-week project or if it is a 1-week project, but they are going to be starting to work on their podcast. That's their, I think it was either a podcast or a screenplay they could do. Maybe I might be making that up. I know podcast was definitely one of the options because it is what both of the kids chose to do. So I am writing that down here. I'm not writing it on Friday because it is our screen-free day, and I have a feeling we're probably going to go out to the library and the coffee shop kind of just to celebrate, and I think that will be fun. World Watch, which is our current events, and they have a current events report due on Thursday. Both Jack and Emma do. Statistics will be something that continues after this week, but it shouldn't take too much longer, I don't think. Because we have a rolling start to our homeschool year, some of the subjects we do not start right off. And so even though we are finishing up our 175th day, some things we end up slowing down, some things we are sped up on, some things like Jack's computer science, he didn't start until September, so he does have I think 6 weeks left of that. So that is what it is. Let's see, is there anything else that she needs to do? I don't think so. So I don't even need this section. For economics, we actually finished economics last week. So we have government chapter, this is way too thick, 17. We have amusing ourselves to death, which I just didn't even spell that right. And the Second Amendment manifesto, which I think I got on Kindle, I hope. Otherwise, we might have a little bit of trouble with that. The only other thing that is part of this course that we have not done is the Dave Ramsey book. I think it's called Financial Peace Revisited. And I think that I have it on my Kindle, but I think that I'm also going to just read that with the kids after this year. Emma didn't need personal finance. Jack technically does need personal finance, but I'm not as concerned about finishing it this year since he's really just qualifies as a freshman this year, even though he's finishing like his second year of high school courses. I think that I am still going to just count him as a freshman this year, and next year will be sophomore year. So I'm not as concerned about that personal finance portion, and this will mainly be done Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I'm not listing out everything because this is stuff that I do with them. They work on the workbook alone, and they have some other things that they just do on their own, but I like to read some of this stuff with them because we have some great discussions. All right, so for Jack, he will have 4 more lessons after this week to finish geometry. He's almost done, which is crazy. Japanese, he should be done this week. He has his Unity gaming, which again, that is going to continue after we finish school, but it probably won't take him too long because this is his main focus after this 175th day. He won't have government and economics, he won't have Japanese, he won't have math, so he should be able to spend a good chunk of time on this each day, and he really likes that too. He's in the process of doing a game from scratch, and he wants to it's completed, but he said it's kind of plain and he wants it to be more engaging, so he's going to be doing that. Technically, he has Lord of the Flies this week. Last week I gave him a choice to read Lord of the Flies or to read Sunrise on the Reaping, and he obviously chose the Hunger Games book. He was the first one to read it out of the family. I ended up purchasing it at Target because originally I was just going to see if I could get it from the library, but there are 3 of us that want to read it, so, and there's already like a request, so many requests, so I just purchased the book. I own all the other books, so of course it makes sense to have that. And Lord of the Flies is not very long, so I don't think it will take him that long to finish this, and then he will be finished with his English after he does his podcast for In Your Own Words, and he also does have his research project, and that should be done this week. So he will be done with English this week. Forgot about his research project for a second there. I'm sure he would be happy about that. One of the things that I have been spending a lot of time on lately is talking to Grok and ChatGPT about Jack's homeschool year next year. It has been so interesting to me to kind of plug in his interests and figure out what's next for like his career path and what he wants to do. What are the best things for him to focus on during the next school year? It's so much fun. I definitely recommend it. I did like an introductory post or video about using AI to help plan your homeschool year. And since I recorded that video a few weeks ago, I have kind of like been deep diving on all of this stuff and coming up with whole schedules and resources to look at and different YouTube channels and internet links to find more information and different programs. It has been so much fun and has been incredibly helpful. I have like honors and just regular college prep options for all of the courses that I've done. So highly recommend if you are questioning things. Now, does it mean that I will not have to do any research at all? No, I am not saying, okay, AI, please create this 36-week schedule based on these criteria, and then I will just follow it and blindly follow it. That is not the case. But I am able to go in and look at all of the resources and really make sure that they are the things that I want. And it's really, really good. I'm very excited about it. Wordly wise, probably could have put dailies over just in one section, but that's okay. Jack seems to have an awful lot more stuff than Emma does, and I think that is because she sped through her consumer math already. So she's done with that, and she's not taking a language this year, and she's not doing a science this year. So it's just a little bit different, I guess, for her. She did finish all of her science requirements last year, so she went through physical science, biology with lab, chemistry with lab. She did not want to take physics, and I didn't take physics and turned out just fine, so that's fine. Jack will be taking physics kind of like next year and the year after, I think. World Watch and current events report. I think that I may have mentioned this in a vlog recently, but I don't know that I am going to be ready to share curriculum choices when I normally do, which is usually in May. Like usually right at the beginning of May, I start getting curriculum in the mail. I have not ordered anything yet, and I definitely have to do that. Some of the things I'm actually waiting on Sunlight because they have a science program that I'm planning on doing for Lucy, but I don't know when it's actually going to be available. And one of the things that I really wanted to do was have a science intensive summer for her again this year, but I'm actually thinking I'm going to have a later start date than I normally do. Normally we start like right after the 4th of July, but I think I'm going to change that this year, partly because it is Emma's last year. And so I think that I want to kind of have a longer summer with her, and we are unsure what she's going to do next year because she doesn't really have any high school classes that she needs to do since she's graduating. And she doesn't have a job. She's really focused on her novel and does want to take like the SAT and, probably apply to colleges and stuff. But I think she's going to kind of use it as a gap year. She may end up doing a homeschool co-op for high schoolers. Some friends in our church do a high school homeschool co-op or a homeschool high school co-op, and it's a really great program, and it might be fun for her to do that. We will see. I'm unsure. We're just going to see how it goes. I don't feel rushed because I just don't. So that is what it is. Okay, she has her history lab book that she has to finish this week. Lucy should be done this week, unless we slow down on math, but I think the last few exercises for math are actually going to be pretty easy for her. So I think she has like 10 or 12 exercises left, but it is, let's see, it's this stuff here, and I don't think this is going to be very challenging. So hopefully that'll be okay. We've just finished up the 4 operations of decimals, and she's done a great job with that. So this stuff I don't think is going to take that long. Potentially it will. We'll see when we start this on Monday, but I am actually feeling quite good about things, so hopefully we will just finish up. I'm not going to finish her read aloud, which is Mr. Lemoncello Olympics, I think is the book title. It's the second Mr. Lemoncello book, and we really just read like one chapter at a time, and there's so many chapters in those books. They're really short chapters, but we have not prioritized a lot of read aloud time, mainly trying to focus on language arts and Singapore so that we can finish up those things. The read alouds, while I find a lot of value in them, obviously, I love reading aloud to my kids and do that for even my high schoolers. It's more just like a fun book. It's not really, it is part of what I wanted to get done this year for her, but it's not, if we don't finish it right now, it's not going to be a hardship to do it, beyond this week. So she does have a little bit more left in the cursive, so I don't know. We might have a little bit more cursive to get through as well after this week. We just do like 1 page a day, and she has beautiful handwriting. I probably don't necessarily need to finish that book, but she enjoys cursive, so I probably will continue doing that. Let's see. Okay, so math, English, history. She did science this summer in the fall, so that is done. Cursive, she's done with spelling UC. I think that's all we have. Okay, guys, here is the plan for the last official week of homeschool. Like I said, we will have a little bit more after this week. For Emma, it will be finishing her research paper and finishing statistics. For the government economics and personal finance, it will be that Dave Ramsey book that we haven't gotten to. And for Jack, it will mainly be his Unity gaming and a couple of teaching textbooks lessons. And then Lucy, potentially her cursive, unless she does a couple of pages each day this week. So I think this is going to close out my 2024-2025 homeschool plan with me's. And hopefully soon I will have some news on the new teacher planners from Erin Condren. They usually come out in May, and I am ready for them. However, I also have a full review and walkthrough of the new Mom Agenda 2025-2026 planners, and that home office planner, that 14-month planner that I reviewed, I think might actually work quite well as a homeschool planner / personal planner if that's something you're looking for. And it is something that I am considering for next year, because I'm not going to have Emma or combination family subjects. I'm going to have Jack and Lucy. And so I don't know how much space I'm going to need. Will I need 3 for Jack and 3 for Lucy in a notes column? Maybe. But we will see. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're looking for more help and encouragement around home and homeschool and goals, I would love for you to come check out my membership community. That link is always in the description box. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.